It's Coach Carol coming to you tonight to inquire about, is God in the quarantine? Is he here with us or has he abandoned us? If you're looking for hope and inspiration, this video is for you. Did you know that St. John Paul II's university was closed down when he was studying in Poland during World War II? In fact, he had to go into hiding in order to be able to finish or do any of his studies or to worship. And it influenced who he became as a man, as the great saint that he was, that inspired so many and loved the youth. He truly was one of the great popes. And I'm going to argue that his time of suffering was not wasted or squandered in complaint and whatnot. He grew as a person, and the sufferings influenced who he was throughout his life and what he did and how he lived as a godly man forever. And I'm so inspired by that, and I hope that so many of you are as well. I can't even imagine the fear of living with the Nazis and what was going on and bombs dropping. Certainly COVID's awful, but I don't know. It's quiet here where I am. There's no bombs dropping. So that's not to lighten anything of what's going on with people dying. Absolutely. It's awful. It's awful. And yet, God is with us. And so let's take a look, right, at where there's evidence that God is absolutely with us. Did you know that the word quarantine actually comes from the Latin word quarantina, which means 40 days? 40 days. That's how long the Christian Lenten season is. That's the season that we are just wrapping up. And I don't think that's a coincidence. In fact, I was saying to my son the other day, I don't believe that there's coincidences anywhere. I believe that God's hand is in everything, that he always has a plan. I think that God was actually he's in control now with essentially giving the whole world a Lent, where so many of us give up chocolate or coffee or even TV during Lent, like little things, right? We might do acts of service in some way, but most of us give up chocolate and light stuff. And oh my goodness, this time God is awakening the world with having to give up so much from, school and routines and being with friends and all of that. And most of the world's not used to that. We're used to our busy schedules, go, 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 making money, seeking earthly things, material things. And God's putting a pause on all that and asking, what really is most important? I think God's hand is absolutely in the last 40 days, right? And will be in the coming Easter season that's coming next, a season of rising. I think it's been a great wake-up call for so many. Father James Brent, he's a Dominican, and he was talking about how philosophers right now are seeing this as a time that God is calling us to conversion, to that Greek word of metanoia. And that is, it's a word that my parish priest, Father Rich, uses. And so, again, I don't think that's a coincidence that I'm hearing this word metanoia, because I think God's calling me to conversion, to look within, to forgive more, to go deeper, to learn to love more deeply in this time when it's not always easy, right? When everyone's home together all the time. I certainly see that in my coaching clients. There's a lot of struggle right now with being together. And there's healing. There's great healing happening as well. When we die to self and we unite our sufferings with Christ and we come out better and stronger and we're able to maybe let the little things slide. Don't jab back. Offer to help. Make tea or coffee and be kind to one another. It's happening in homes. There's metanoia, there's change, there's growth, there's hope. All of that is God calling us to love more deeply. Perhaps as we can't do when we're on the go, running the kids here to there, rushing to work, doing errands on our lunch breaks, go, 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 go all the time, right? It's a time to pause and ask, who do I want to be? How do I want to show up? How do I want to love in this time? Many of us have watched or are watching the Passion movie. And oh my gosh, how he loved so sacrificially to be nailed to a crucifix, to be scourged and mocked and crowned with thorns. Oh my gosh. To be possibly a fake or a liar, I'd have caved, right? I don't think he was lying. I don't think he was faking. When I'm called to just give up little sufferings, to not, get irritated with my husband, or to not, to have more patience, I can't even do that. My own selfishness, right? I can't even die to that. How could I die the way that he died? And so I'm challenged in this metanoia to unite my sufferings to his, to look at the cross that he carried and to unite my sufferings there. God can be found in this solitude. Well, many are falling to depression and loneliness and even drugs and alcohol, right? And gosh, I like a glass of wine too. I'm not condemning at all, but certainly, to drowning it out too much, maybe that's not the answer, right? Maybe he really is calling us to himself, to lean in on him, maybe to open our Bibles, to pray more, to come together in Bible studies. I'm leading one on Wednesday afternoons. Women and actually men too are getting together and praying and reflecting. Our parish has online spiritual talks, and anybody can look up Christ the King, Concord, New Hampshire. And there's beautiful, beautiful reflections that are happening. People are coming together again in witness that God is with us. Even in our solitude, we are coming together as a people who's even willing to be in isolation. We are unified, being isolated, because we want to fight this and we want to keep people alive. That's amazing that God has given us the courage to do that, the courage to face financial challenges that may come, but that we're willing to do that. We're willing to make those sacrifices. That's God. That's this Holy Spirit filled within us to face those brave, brave things, right? God is here. He is not quarantined. He is right here. He is not social distancing. He is just waiting for us to lean in on him. No mask required. We can lean in on him. We can take his hand. It is absolutely okay. This is what he's calling us to right now. There has certainly, every time that there's an occasion to cry out, there's also an opportunity to praise. When we're challenged by fear, when we can look more closely, there's always an occasion to praise as well. We can fear all that's happening, and we can praise that God is with us. Look at the healthcare heroes that are out there. The nurses, the doctors, the firefighters, the police, the custodians, the office workers who are there in the hospital doing admissions, all of it, the volunteers, the people who are bringing food to neighbors or doing errands, the people who are just smiling in the grocery store, people who are pausing in the grocery store to let somebody get by, right? All of those are amazing, amazing signs of God's love and how the Spirit is within us and that we are good people. There's so much good in the world. Yes, there's evil, but I'm going to say that there's lots of good. We get what we look for. If I want to look for the things that are scary, I just have to turn the news on and spend 10 minutes and I can spin myself in fear. But I've given myself permission to turn it off or to walk away. My husband tends to like to watch a lot of it. But I can't. I don't sleep at night. And so turn it off. I give you permission to turn it off and to look for the good. I was getting depressed at the beginning. I was filled with that fear, right? And when I paused and prayed, God, what can I do? What can I do? Well, certainly making videos is one, giving signs of hope, but I'm also doing a fundraiser in my 31 Gifts business where we're giving amazing clear pouches that are thermals, but they also have a pouch for healthcare workers to put their phones in, to keep them safe, to easily clean them. Like there's lots that we can do. Even in my Happy Wife community, to be able to inspire wives to keep on loving their husbands. And I'm offering a Resurrecting You program next week in there, where I'm going to be doing just free talks and free inspiration and free little tips of things that you can do to be your best self through all of this. So if you're not in my Happy Wife community, go down to the comments and check out the link and join that. And if you know any wife who might be struggling or just want to do more to be inspired, come join that group. It's for you. I want to inspire women, inspire everyone really, but my heart and where I work primarily is with women. And so as a certified marriage coach, I'm on a mission to end world divorce. I do not want to see a rise in the divorce rate after all of this or during this. I'd far rather see a baby boom, right? Why not? So this is a time to grow in love. God is there. And what we see, what comes out of this, who we become, who we are, like, I want to be changed after this. I challenge you to do the same thing. Who do you want to be? Get really clear so that you can be intentional about changes and making those purposes. Who do I want to be during this? Do I want to gain 50 pounds? No. I need to discipline myself to start working out more. But who I want to be and where I want to be at the end. So many women are telling me, that maybe they've got some challenges going on right now in their homes, but they want to love their husbands more deeply. They want to love their children and to have more patience with them, to have more snuggle time with them, to read with them, to really have this be a time that they remember when their parents really wrapped their arms around them, rather than spinning out in fear and craziness. If the towels don't get folded, if the laundry doesn't get done, whatever, go play a game, go sit and read. Let those kids pile into your bed and read together, right? And create those memories. There's just so much where we can show God's love. That's who we're called to be, is love. That is what God's up to, right? The whole purpose of our lives is to grow closer and to know God more. But what is God? God is love. If we can become more loving, then that's the whole purpose. That's getting us on that road to heaven, which is really what Easter season's all about, is helping us, right? The resurrection, the crucifixion and all that. It's a time of looking and assessing our lives and the metanoia to become more of who God calls us to become love, to become his hands and feet in the world. So where are you called? Mother Teresa said, if you want to change the world, go home and love your family. God's put us right smack dab in our families where we can't go anywhere, right? Yay, God. He's got us right where we need to be, where we can love them more deeply and heal the next generation and give them the love that they crave, so that they're not turning to drugs and alcohol to drown their loneliness and their sorrows, but that in fact they can feel love. They can feel love and they can feel unified families. That's why my parents divorced when I was a senior in high school, tore my heart out, destroyed a lot of things for a long time in my life. And they thought they'd be done with each other, right? You're never done with each other. When you have kids, you still have to be together because you got to work out weekends. And even when your kids are grown, then you've got family broken holidays and all that other mess that happens for 30, 40 years, right? It's not the answer. Learning to love is, and that's what we're up to here in my work, in the Happy Wife community. It's all about empowering that, wrapping love around our husbands, our kids, and if husbands are watching this, around your wives. What can you do to love them more deeply, right? Being love. It's what John Paul did. It's what the saints of the world, if you go back in time, read Joan of Arc, read any of the saints. We love to read the lives of the saints. When the kids were little, they inspired so much. How they turned suffering into good. How they made a difference and became warriors, right? Warriors. Instead of being victims in evil times, they became warriors. I don't want to be a victim. I want to be a warrior. I spent too many years being a victim, honestly, whining and complaining and not being happy. And I can go back there. That's when I lived, so much of my life was based in fear. It's just kind of a natural thing, right? We're inclined to sin and to weakness as human beings. I'm a mere mortal woman. And I need God to lift me up and show me the way. And that's what he did when he brought me to Lord Doyle's programs that changed my life and made me become a marriage coach. And so I hope this inspires you. Please leave a comment down below. What's your takeaway? What are you hoping to be when you come out of this? And where do you see God? Where do you see God right now? Type it in the comments. Be sure to subscribe and hit the button, so the little bell, so that you'll be notified when I do other videos. I'm standing for you. I'm standing for the world. I'm standing that we are going to come out better than ever. We're not going to be taken down. We are a people of God. God is here. The devil is not going to destroy this world. We're going to come out better, happier, more peaceful, with our eyes on heaven, because that's really what it's all about. Just getting to heaven for eternal life, peace and joy and all that there is. So I hope that inspires you. I hope that gives you hope. And we'll talk again real soon. Take care.